Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, everyone. We are at our camp, and I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to start talking with our friends. And since we've picked up a substantial number of gifts, we should try to give them to the appropriate people, right? So I've checked the internet a bit, and I found out that these gifts that were found by my dog in Lothering, meaning the tangled ball of yarn, the dirty pair of pantaloons, the found cake. There was another. That's it so far. These ones are actually meant for dog, but since... Where is dog? Where is dog actually? Oh, he's here, right. But since dog actually has a 100% approval rating, he loves us from the very beginning, I don't see why I need to give him those gifts. So I will give them to someone who might appreciate them a bit, meaning Stan. He is a strange fella, and I think he might appreciate it. Alright, the small carved statuette, a robbed woman. I think this is for Alistair. I think. Yes, the bronze symbol of Andraste is for Leliana. This alcohol and this alcohol I think are for another party member that we are yet to recruit. This one as well. The ale is for another guy. These I have no idea. This one I think it's for Morrigan. Yep. This one as well, the golden rope necklace. Okay, let's just start talking to them and giving them gifts. Who should we start with? Let's save first, because I'm unsure that the carved statue goes perfectly for
what do you need?
Alistair.
Ask away.
Right, we've talked to him before, but I have no idea if we asked him about this.
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Yeah, I thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
Pillow fights? Seriously? You had lots of these pillow fights, I take it?
Pillow fights? I mean, no, of course not. I meant sword fights. With rusty swords, dripping with acid. The kind that puts hair on your chest.
Right.
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I do actually. Make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon cast me off unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Okay. What did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly. But also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
Oh boy, that's a tough question. My home was taken over by Earl Howe. Not anymore, no. Home is whatever camp is. Yeah, I think this is the best answer.
We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
The Grey Wardens of Ferelden, that is, because there are Grey Wardens in Orlais. That's assuming we survive. They can be rebuilt. You can always keep traveling. They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Alright, alright, alright. Class 2 approval. Good, good. That is good. Alright. Now, how do I give him gifts? I think I know how. Alistair. And this one. If this is the right gift for him, he will receive a +10, I think. Hopefully.
I could get used to this, you know.
Yes! It was the right gift. Good. What else? Can we give him something else? I don't think so. There's nothing here that I know to be perfect for him. Alright, so +10 from that. Let's see. Alistair is now +20. Still neutral though. But we're on the right path.
What do you need?
I'd like to talk to you.
Ask away.
Yeah, can you teach others to be a Templar? Not yet, we've talked about that. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Yes. Where are the nearest Grey Wardens? I think we talked about that, didn't we? No, we didn't.
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Yeah, the last time we opened this topic, I was intimidated by the number of subjects, so we did not talk to Alistair about this. Is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfelds, 1,000 miles from here.
Yeah,
but I've no idea
that's
how
too
to
far.
contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
Alright. What happens now that there's just the two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them.
How?
But that would mean leaving Ferelden.
No.
And even if we did,
That's
we
not an
couldn't get
option.
back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Yes. Will we need to start rebuilding the order?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right?
Exactly.
But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it.
The mages know
Unless
how.
we can find out more about the joining, I guess.
Oh, they don't actually.
The idea that there might only be two of us for now, until more come from elsewhere.
The mages help prepare for the joining. They help prepare the Darkspawn blood or whatever. But the actual formula, recipe for creating a Grey Warden was known only by the Grey Wardens. And the only Grey Warden that we know of that had that knowledge is dead. He was Duncan. Oh boy. What would happen if we just left?
Just left?
Yeah.
You mean just left Ferelden?
Yeah, back up and
I
left.
don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it.
How?
And that means the Blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
Neither am I, don't worry.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
Nothing right now. Good. Now, let's go to Morrigan. Give her the rope necklace. I think that's for her. Let's save before we do that. Alright, where is Morrigan? There's Morrigan. She has an approval rating of +4. Yeah, she can be a real hard ass sometimes. Okay, the golden rope necklace. This should give her a +10 approval. Let's see.
I am grateful.
Good.
'Tis thoughtful indeed.
That worked. So now she has an approval rating of +14. Still neutral. Let's save again and try it with the what was it? Tribal necklace. It might work, although I'm fairly certain it will only give her a +5. Let's see.
A fine gift.
+4.
You have
Oh,
my thanks.
okay. Should I keep going? She has a knack for jewelry, it seems. Let's give her the silver, the shiny gold ring.
Interesting.
Okay. The silver bracelet.
Interesting.
Okay. 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 I think we're gonna stop right now. Let's see her approval rating. She is now at 23 and neutral. Good. With. We are still on the right path. Now let's talk to her.
What do you wish of me?
Well, something personal. Alright. Ask you for something. Yes, I must. Can you teach others? I already talked to her. Did you grow up in the Korcari wilds? Huh? Did we ask her that?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
No. It's my favorite way of annoying you. I'm curious, what's wrong with that?
Any number of cats could inform you of the answer to that question, but
Yeah,
have it your
I'm not a
way.
cat.
What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wilds?
Yes.
A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Alright. You must have looked quite the fool. Oh no. Very daring, that sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan.
Oh.
He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Okay. That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive.
Oh.
I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Why not? What's wrong with touching? It's not human society, you're in Ferelden. Touching like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion.
Why?
There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
You can go back if you like. I guess the joke's on you then. Well, I'm glad it worked out this way at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Oh, it can do that? Inspired minor magic. Oh! Approval rating, party approval. One of your party members has begun to genuinely like you and respect your leadership. As you improve your relationship with party members, head back to the camp to speak to them. They'll be much more willing to open up when they don't have to worry about death around every corner, and you'll need to talk to them more if you want to continue to improve your relationship. You can track party members' approval rating using the orange bar at the bottom of their character record. See, I know that already. Let's see, Morrigan. She's now warm to us, plus 29. So 28 or 29 is a threshold. Good. Let's save.
I await your command.
Oh, she awaits my command now. What's
We're
that
in
with
camp,
personal
so
questions?
tis as good a time as any.
Why are you still here? Seriously? Come on. Seriously?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you.
Yep.
Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
No, 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 no. Do you want to leave?
If I wanted to leave, then I would go. I remain, so do not ask such pointless questions.
Okay, okay, okay. This approves. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Sorry, guys. Reload.
I await your command.
Yes, indeed. Life in the wilds must have been very lonely. Oh, I don't like the nuance in that question.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
And that seemed normal to you. But you eventually left. That sounds wonderful. Come on, let's encourage her.
For a time. But one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
What happened then?
Flemeth was furious with me.
Why?
I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of
that's
a
why.
pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
You were just a child. I have a hard time picturing you heartbroken. Flemeth was right, no doubt. Yeah, she risked a lot.
Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
I feel sorry for you. You don't need to live that way any longer. Those are harsh lessons to teach a child. They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Alright, plus 8 approval, good. Wow, we are doing fine. We are doing fine. Let's save again. Is there anything else we can ask her?
Command.
Yes.
So, full of questions, are you?
Okay. Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry? Ooh.
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
Oh. Oh, okay. That was a flirt attempt. Um, okay. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. We should think really carefully who we want to romance in this game. If I remember correctly, you can romance almost everyone, male and female, regardless of your gender. So, I don't know. Flameth? A Witch of the Wilds? A mage? Possibly. I'm actually more inclined to romance Leliana. I know many of you have. Yeah, let's stick with Leliana. Her story is far more interesting. Alright, so, I'm glad you think so. What should I answer? And not actually encourage her flirt, but not dismiss her. Nom, nom, nom. You are cute when you're evasive. I'm glad you think so.
And I am glad you are so glad. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like
Did I just make a mistake?
which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Okay. You really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Oh boy. Surely more would have followed.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place.
Indeed.
Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Yeah, do you regret hurting any of those men at all? What exactly is an apostate?
You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true, still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Yeah, meaning what? Will fight you to the end? Have you no responsibility to those around you? If I were a mage, I might think the same. I completely agree. Let's agree with her.
Oh? I hope you're not simply being agreeable. It would be a refreshing change. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Okay. +3 approval rating. Man, we are on a roll. On a roll.
I await your command.
I know you do.
So, full of questions, are you?
Yeah. Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
Well, a powerful maleficar. And not the old bat. Human?
Oh, she certainly was human.
Was
Once.
human.
Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. I've heard a little of it.
No doubt such a tale has mutated much over time and
Indeed.
telling. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if
All right.
you desire.
Of course, that sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful. A fair lass in a land of barbarian men. The desire of any who saw her.
Okay. Just how long ago is this?
Many centuries.
Centuries?
Before this land
Oh
was
boy.
even named Ferelden.
Okay.
The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the Bard and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity.
Okay.
In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife. And Osen agreed.
Agreed? Okay. He sold his wife to another man.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Oh.
All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar.
Okay.
Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her
The
strong.
demon.
The legends
Okay.
all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Ha ha ha. Which she never invaded? Or he never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the Great War with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Alright. How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long? The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters. Aren't abomination usually insane horrors? An interesting story, thank you. Do you believe her
I
version?
do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Alright. How is it that she has survived
The
for
demon
so
within
long?
her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
The legends tell of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one.
Exactly.
And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Let's hope not. Aren't abomination usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her.
Oh, okay. An interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
Well, my mother died recently, in fact. There is nothing really to say about her. I love her. What else do you want to know? Keep your curiosity to yourself. My mother died.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
Okay, let's do it. +5 approval rating. Good. Good, and I think... let's save again. I think this is it for Morrigan. So far.
So,
for now.
Full of questions, are you?
Yeah. Oh, no, there's more. Tell me, are you really Flemeth's daughter?
I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Truly,
asking.
I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. It is not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
She was not always as old as she is now, was she? She could have stolen you. Can an abomination even reproduce? Huh.
As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another. And Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
I guess that's all that matters, actually. She does seem very motherly. She doesn't seem very motherly. Does that mean you love her? What if you have real family out there? A cozy family of abomination and apostates. She does not seem very motherly.
Must one be a doting and simpering moron to be considered a suitable mother? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn.
Okay.
How
Don't
to
get
survive,
excited.
The meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
Okay. I suppose that's true.
You suppose it's true? It is true. To indulge in love is to indulge in delusion. Surely a Grey Warden such as yourself does not believe otherwise.
I do in fact believe otherwise.
I see. Well, we all have our weaknesses, don't we?
-2. Oh, well. Nothing we can do about that. There's just a difference of opinion between the two of us. Good, we've talked to her now. Let's head over and talk to Mr. Stan. Let's save.
Yes.
What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Seriously. That's not what I meant. Very funny. Do you have to be so literal? Cute. You're the silent type, I see. Very funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you going to answer the question? You're impossible.
I know. Parshera. Was there anything else?
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Yeah. Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
Oh. And what was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
Arishok? Okay. What's an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
So the people, the leader, okay. So he's your king.
Kunari have no kings.
Leader. Okay. Why does he care about the Blight?
Why do you?
It could destroy the world?
Do you think the Kunari live on some other world then?
No. Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
So what are you still doing here then? When are you going to do that?
Never. I cannot go home.
What? Why? Okay. You can stay with us.
Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
Okay.
As you wish.
Oh my god, plus 19! Wow! That was amazing. Alright, now let's give Stan, since we are standing in front of him, let's give him these things that I doubt anyone else will find a use. Let's give him the old pair of pantaloons, or the found cake. Let's give him the found cake. Let's see how he reacts.
Unexpected.
+5, good. The tangled ball of yarn,
Unexpected.
+4, good. The dirty pair of pantaloons,
You have my thanks.
okay. And that's it. Oh, inspired minor strength. Skill acquired, good. That means Stan is no longer neutral, and in fact he is actually warm. He has warmed up to us. Good. Come on. Let's save again.
You are not quite as callow as I thought.
You thought I was callow?
Unexpected.
Thanks, I guess.
You're welcome.
Okay. So will you tell me now why you are caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
Yes. What exactly happened?
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone.
There
I
are
came
more?
to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight.
Okay.
We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe.
Alright.
Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the Darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
Oh boy. What happened to the other Kunari?
I am told no others survived. I
Wow.
don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke, I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
Okay. You probably dropped it on the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed, I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
Did the farmers know where it was?
They said they found me with nothing.
Did you believe them?
I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
Wow. Okay. It's an object stand. You could get another sword.
Do your people have no souls as we know them? Convenient for you. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people.
Oh.
Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Okay. If you're that prone to panic, maybe you did desert. Accidents happen. Couldn't you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where did you fight the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Okay, we'll find it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
The Sword of the Beresad. Good question and approval rating from Stan. Let's see. Companions. Oh, a quest for the companions. Good. Stan revealed to you that the reason he went berserk and killed the farmers. No, Stan revealed to you the reason why he awoke without his sword. The increased value their swords. What? The Beresad value their swords highly and do not part with them until death. The thought that his sword might be lost drove Stan into a mindless rage. You told Stan that you would try to track down his sword. Of course we will try to track down his sword. Come on. Morrigan. Alright, Stan. Good. Controls. What controls? Oh, party approval. Okay. Good. Anything else from Stan?
Called.
Yes, I did. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Yeah. Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Don't the Kunari ever want to change their lot in life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
He might be happier, you know.
Happiness is fragile. Nothing can be built upon it that will last. Only duty endures.
You don't think happiness is important?
You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
Okay. You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Okay. Is there anything you left out? Rotting garbage?
True. I was trying to forget that part. Shall we move on?
Yes. Is there anything you like about Ferelden?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies?
Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
I'll keep that in mind.
Shall we move on?
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
Oh, there's nothing else actually to discuss.
Then I suggest we move on.
Okay.
As you wish.
Oh! Plus 15 approval rating. Good. Quest updated. What quest? What quest updated? That's strange. So now Stan, let's see. Plus 50. Warm, good. And he has gained some nice bonuses. Who else is in our party? Oh, Liliana. I almost forgot about Liliana. I think this episode will be dedicated to our party members, guys. All of it. I don't think we have time to do anything else. But we'll see.
Yes?
What the... Okay, let's talk.
Well, here I am.
Good. Let's talk about her vision. This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
Wow. So it's just a dream? Why say it's a vision? You dreamt of the Blight? What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Okay. And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
Yeah, I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
Indeed. Okay, +2 approval. That's a good start. Let's continue.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Good. What was life like in the Chantry cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes, they tend to be self-righteous. Condescending? How so?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain.
Why?
They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all.
Why not?
The sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I don't really want the maker looking. What did you say to them? I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the chantry.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy. Not men. Not the Chantry. But there is work to be done. And I have talked enough for now.
Okay. Another +2 approval. Things are actually going a lot slower with her than they did with the other party members. Let's talk.
Well, here I am.
Yes, I know. What would someone like you be doing in a lothering chantry? Good.
What is meant by someone like me?
Well, oh, okay. Let's flirt a bit. I don't think this is coming on too strong, is it? Okay, let's do it. You know,
And
a beautiful, charming woman?
Charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister. All of them chaste and virtuous.
Oh.
It added to their mystique. Because then, they were forbidden. And forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Yes, it is. So, can we go back to the lothering now? Okay. Those initiates can't have been more lovely than you. Oh. Okay. What about your... Oh, okay.
Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps I am not as enigmatic? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the Chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
Ah, I see. What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin.
Nice.
And my skill in battle. Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Oh. +5, okay. She seemed defensive right there. Let's poke her a bit. Not poke her, poke around. Ask some more questions, interrogate, you know. I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Oh, okay. Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
Yeah. What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
You were young, it's understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dry flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Okay. +1. You know what? I think it's time to give her the gift. Leliana, there she is. And this is hers. Bronze symbol of Andraste. Alright, let's do it.
That's a wonderful thought.
+10. 23. Almost. We're almost at the tipping point. Where she's no longer neutral. Come on.
Yes? Something you need?
Yes, I'd like to talk to you.
Yes. What's on your mind?
Well, do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val-Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val-Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val-Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais. Her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
Such as? What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs. And shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see.
Okay.
Orlais is very fashionable. Almost ridiculously so. But the shoes. Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Okay. Shoes are shoes. They're there to keep your feet dry. Okay, I love shoes.
When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
Okay, that sounds so lovely.
I had my eye on
That's
the
not very
pair my
manly what I'm
shoemaker
doing
was
right now,
working
is
on.
it?
It was covered in pale blue silk with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
Yeah, I know. You don't need fancy shoes to make you beautiful. Oh. Okay, I know, right? So ugly and shapeless. They're comfortable. Should I? Nah.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Yes. +1. Oh, just +1. Come on. I was supportive. Only +1.
Yes? Something you need?
Yes, talk to
Yes?
you.
What's on your mind?
I heard that... no. You were a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Okay. Tell me about the Darkspawn.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Okay. Know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Go ahead.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Continue, please.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney. But Aveline kept her helmet on, and was not discovered.
Okay.
Aveline won many events, and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Oh, God.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
That's a very nice story. I actually like it. Okay. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Oh, have I?
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Tell me the whole story.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
Okay.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Yeah, that was a very interesting story. Oh, and she has warmed up to us. Yeah, interesting. Different than the story told by Morrigan, but still, very interesting. Well, that's all we have time for today, guys. I hope you liked it. We still have another topic to discuss with Leliana, but we'll do it in the next episode. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.